Kai, everybody's still talking about your last fight, but for all the wrong reasons. How have you been taking it, or how have the people surrounding you have been supportive, or how's that been?
Yeah, it's been it's a weird one. I lost, but I didn't lose, and it's tough when you're constantly reminded, because so many people are coming up to me, and I've had more of a response from a loss than if I was to win. So yeah, it's one of these things where it was out of my control, and I don't put energy into that. I put energy into my performance, stuff that I can take away from positives. Going 5 rounds, being the main event, how I felt in there, instructions I took away from my coaches, and implementing a game plan, and we just build off that. So that's stuff I focus on. The result is what it is, and I'm not here to cry about it and hold on to these things. Just go on to the next. So yeah, I've just spent a lot of time with family since the fight, and that's what fills my cup up. That's what gets me out of bed to make a living and put food on the table. And my goal is still to be the best flyweight in the world, and I showed that on June 3rd when I was in Vegas. So yeah, I just keep reminding myself that we're still right there, and just because there's a loss next to my name doesn't necessarily tell the full story of that fight. So yeah, we just do what we do best there, rebuild, and we go out and fight. So great place to be in the UFC, where if you're here to fight, they'll give you one. So I've already got another fight booked, and back into the gym and back into just building. So a lot of things I've taken away from working in the Warriors and being in that space is looking at my sport as a season. And at the Warriors, they're playing week in and week out, nursing injuries, and making those adjustments, and the next week they get to go and perform. So this is like a warm-up fight for me, going 5 rounds, and I can build off that and go into the next fight and go again.
I always remember when Dan had his first 5-rounder, and he said how much different it was. Like it's a big add-on, isn't it? Those extra 2 rounds.
Definitely, it's this what builds you up to title fights and to be the world champion, which is to be able to go 25 minutes and not reserve anything for those later rounds. You just got to treat every round as it is and go for it. So I felt great in there. 25 minutes, I didn't get tired. I knew my gas tank would hold up because we train so much at this gym. There's so much volume, there's so much preparation that there's no I guess second guessing that we knew our gas tank was going to be there. And in the 4th and 5th round, which was probably one of my best rounds, I was starting to feel Amir fade, and that's where we could start to, I guess, find a home for our strikes and our punches and kicks, and start to control it, control the chaos, and yeah, I feel like that's what was. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? And I feel like the momentum was definitely shifting in my favour. So yeah, stuff that we can take away from is knowing, okay, cool, we can go 5 rounds and hang, with the best guys and neutralize these wrestlers, these grapplers, these guys that are specialists. We can showcase that we're used to this, So I was in some sticky situations where he had my back, and people are saying, was it tight? It was obviously tight, but I'm willing to go to sleep before I'm quitting. That's just where I'm at. I'm at that level where you got to put me out to get me out. So I found a way to get back to my feet, shrugged them off, and I finished on top, landing elbows and cutting them in the face. So yeah, it's like I said, stuff to take away from, stuff to work on, and then just a ring time experience. This is 11 months that I've been away from fighting, so that's a long time to build up for a fight. So just to know, we're right there, and I'm number 5. I didn't drop too low in the rankings, so yeah, I've got many fights in front of me, and that's what I look forward to.
You say you're already booked, so are you allowed to say it yet, or?
I can say we're looking at Sydney, September. I won't say who it is yet, but this will be a great matchup. Like the fight that they have in front of me it's something that I knew that was going to come, and it's a fight that, regardless of the rankings or where we are, it's a fun fight. And to fight in front of hometown, Sydney, Australia, close to home, a lot of friends and family already booked their tickets to fly over. It's perfect for me to keep this momentum going. People are, salty. More people are angry more than me about this robbery and this decision that happened from the judges. Giving Amir, stuff that they felt like it was 4-1 on the scorecards. But regardless, people are excited because they want to see me back on top. They know that that fire's burning, and it's burning even more now that I'm so close to just showcasing that we are one of the best flyweights in the world, and being a main event, dealing with the added pressure that comes with that, the travel, the more media obligations, the more attention, but we showed that this is something that we're used to. We're not shying away from any of that. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to just getting back in there, getting back into a camp, because we can recycle all the fitness from the last camp into this one. You don't really lose too much in the last few weeks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
You mentioned the Warriors and a lot of injuries there, and they're coming back. And you told me the other day when I was talking to you about their fight. They play the Dragons this week, and there's a little bit of rivalry there between the gyms.
Yeah. So the Warriors are playing the Dragons this weekend on Friday. I'm actually going to the game. I'll be in Sydney, and then our teammate Alex Volkanovski helps the Dragons in their wrestling. So it was one thing in the preseason that Eugene said, and that was to the Warriors, and he was saying winning the premiership would be nice. That's the goal, but there's one thing that I want you guys to do, and we just can't lose to the Dragons. There's too much on the line here. There's too much bragging rights. So I've told the boys last week when I trained with them that, come on boys, we need to get up for this one, and they're looking good. They've got so much momentum now, coming off a good few wins that we've had together. We're starting to see the boys' resilience really show. Being down in the first half, they can turn it around and come back and get back on top, and that's something that we've worked a lot on this season. The fitness is, these guys are super freak athletes. They're cardio machines, so that's something that's really helped them in their season, is they can start to break teams in the second half. When they're fading, we can keep pushing forward. So injuries, players that are coming back from injuries, the buys have really helped us to rest and recover, and they're looking really good. I love what Andrew Webbs has brought this season, which is just open-mindedness. Very passionate, but he's bringing in tools from outside of the norm, which is just coming from a martial arts background. That's everything. Being able to pull from different strengths, different ideas, different methods to ultimately bring your best performance. So I've loved that I'm in that space to kind of help in any way, form. I'm not saying that I'm the reason why the Warriors are doing so awesome, but we definitely have a part to play, and we're just the complementary stuff. Obviously the work's done on the field, but we can install this championship mindset, what we've learnt on these 4 mats at City Kickboxing, we can install that into the Warriors and build together. That's what I love about this, is New Zealand teams collabing and taking on the world, whatever code that is. So a long time coming, but we're doing it together, and I'm excited for the next few rounds, especially coming into the semis and the finals, where we can win this. And that's a barrier that the Warriors have had to learn, is you've got to give yourself permission to become a premiership winning team, and that's something that we've learnt at City Kickboxing with Izzy, being the kind of light of that self-belief, that you've got to believe you're going to be a world champion before you become it. And that starts with training, that starts with high standards, that starts with what you're doing outside of training, having yourself accountable and doing everything to match your actions. So yeah, definitely exciting. So I'll be there on Friday in Sydney, watching in the flesh in Wollongong, and let's see the boys get it done up the wires.
Well, we'll be cheering for you from home, mate.
Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for talking. We'll talk a bit closer to Sydney and find out who you're fighting.
Definitely, bro. Cheers, bro.
Geez, I'll tell you what, we played brilliant last.
The Raiders
Yeah.
smashed it, eh?
Oh.